Dallas police have not revealed much about what happened right before that deadly shooting, but the family of the man killed certainly did. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The man killed may have been after a burglar or burglars that had just broken into his home. That house is about a mile across the field from the truck stop where the off-duty officer shot him, I-20 Bonneview Road. First on Fox 4 tonight, Brandon Todd near the scene with more. Brandon.
Well, exactly, Steve and Heather. The truck driven by the man that police shot smashed into that fence back behind me there. And this fence goes up alongside the Flying J truck stop here. Now, tonight, we've learned a lot more about the man who was killed, and his family says they have a lot of questions about just what happened here.
So we don't really know what actually happened.
Herman Luster is still trying to understand why his son, 45-year-old Desmond Luster, died this afternoon after he was shot by an off-duty Dallas police officer.
Just pray for his family. His daughter and his son need the prayers right now, and his wife also.
It happened next to the Flying J truck stop at Bonneview and I-20. Dallas police say the officer, in his uniform, working an off-duty job at the truck stop, responded to a report of gunfire at Riverside and Bonneview. At some point, only a short distance away on the east side of the Flying J, a person came running toward the officer. Investigators say when that officer got that person stopped and detained, this black Dodge pickup truck, driven by Luster, jumped the curb and was speeding toward the officer.
The officer perceived the speed and direction of travel of the vehicle as a threat to himself and his detainee, so he discharged his weapon, striking the driver.
He was pronounced dead at Baylor Medical Center. His family said the father of two has been burglarized twice in the past few weeks and may have been trying to chase down the individuals who did it again today.
Only thing we know is that someone was burglarized in their home.
From Sky 4, you can see the fence behind Luster's home is knocked down, tire tracks in his yard, and a window facing the backyard is knocked out. The house is about a mile from the truck stop. What police have not confirmed is whether the initial call of shots fired was Luster.
We have witnesses that have stated the driver was armed and had fired his weapon.
The family of Desmond Luster says he was a family man. This is him last Wednesday with his son during signing day. Now, they just need time and answers.
Be prayerful. Everybody, not everything get out of hand, but just stay together and pray.
Dallas police say they do have one person in custody, and that person's arrest was related to this case. But Steve, they didn't say whether or not that may have been one of those burglary suspects or just how that person related to this case.
Okay, still a lot of questions tonight. I guess it'll kind of work itself out eventually. I want to ask you, the police officer said witnesses say the man who ended up getting shot, the man in the truck, had a gun and fired shots. Did police find a gun in his truck?
Now, police, when they addressed us with their statement, did not say whether or not they found a weapon or a gun inside the truck. They didn't disclose that. But again, we're going on based on witness statements according to what the police detectives are saying. But no, so far they haven't revealed whether or not they found anything.
Yeah, the witness, was that witness the one who was running across the field, maybe one of the burglary suspects, or do we know who the witnesses were?
Well, not sure. There were some people that were there around that scene that heard the shots fired. Right. And then there were reports of shots fired elsewhere in the surrounding neighborhood. So I'm wondering if maybe those people called police or police were able to get a hold of those people. Did they ID him as having shot the guy? These are a lot of the questions that we had today, a lot of the questions that are unanswered right now.
How about the Luster family? Do they say anything about him even owning a gun?
They did not.
Okay.
They didn't say anything. In fact, when we asked them, we tried to ask them maybe if they knew what had happened. Why did he leave? But was he really trying to chase them down? They believe that he may have been, but they didn't have a lot of details about what happened. They themselves were asking a lot of questions about this, and at this point, just learning about all this. So it'll take some time for them to kind of digest this, Steve, as well as investigators. And I'm told by detectives that the officer who fired his gun was incredibly distraught over this shooting. And witnesses are telling us that at one point the officer was even giving CPR to the driver before emergency crews arrived.
And again, to reiterate, the officer was in a uniform, should have been identifiable to somebody coming up on the scene. There's two trucks. There's two
Stephen,
trucks.
that's one of the big questions for that detectives have is why the man drove up over the curb toward the officer. The fence back behind me is where he landed, but the detective specifically pointed out to me, he said, Brandon, look at where the curb is, look at how much of a distance that is, and look where the fence is, where the truck rested. He said, that's a lot of speed to travel that distance.
Now, the other truck we see in this picture behind that, did that have anything to do with this?
Well, we're told by the family confirming that that was Desmond Luster's brother. Why his brother was there, was his brother trying to get him to stop? All that is unclear as well, but that's who that truck belonged to.
Okay. Boy, there's a lot to figure out here, Brandon. Still, thank you, Brandon Todd, live tonight for us.